Hello and good evening. Welcome, Wolves fans. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas with all of your families and celebrated New Year in the right way. Had a couple of games since we last did a podcast, so we'll run through that in a minute. I got Liam again with me. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. You?
Not too bad. I'm feeling a bit like Santa Claus myself at the minute because I have it so much over the break, and I'm struggling now. There's way too much. Honestly, you should see the stats that the missus has come out with. I have been treated and over the size of a house. But did you do anything for New Year, mate?
No, man's had a quiet one in. It's quite nice, actually. So, yeah, what about you?
We went to my sister's. We had a lovely time. Went to my sister's. All of my family there. Chelsea's family came, and my sister's relatives on her fella's side. It was a really nice night, actually. Had a really good night. Back to the grind now, mate. After being at work over Christmas and whatever, so we'll get back into it. We'll very quickly touch over the Liverpool game first, I think, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, mate, saying, let's go.
Quick synopsis of that. 2-1 Liverpool win. Quite gutting, really. I think there was a lot of talking points for the game in terms of we actually play quite well for a change. I think the problem is we were a bit too defensive in that first half, and we kind of just done it for weeks under Rob Edwards now. We like to sit back, we like to sit tight and try and go into every game frustrating the opposition and go in 0-0. This time Liverpool got the better of us, actually. The first goal, it's a hard one because I thought we was defending quite well when I was watching it. And then when it came to about the 40th minute, one goal. I think Jose saw I think he could have done better with the second one, to be honest. But yeah, they scored 40 minutes in, and it kind of just took the confidence out of the Wolves players, didn't it? I think they scored in like the 40th minute, in the 41st minute. They were so quick. And we just kind of did what we've done all season. And it's exactly the reason why we're in the position that we're in, because we lack a bit of confidence, and we allowed Liverpool to catch us on a quick counter for the second after we lost the ball, and they made it for half time. Second half.
It's quite gutting, wasn't it? We was in the game, weren't we? But there's only so many times you can defend and wait to try and go 1-0 up, because when it don't happen, you're just on the back foot for the rest of the game, aren't you? And experience, I think, at the back, when you go a goal down, just show everyone back in. But we just seem to we defend so well for so long, and then as soon as we lapse big style, don't we? And that chance that they had for the second, you just needed someone to get the group back in and just sort it out. But 2-0 down Anfield, you're never going to get it back, really. I mean, when you're bottom of the league.
No, not really. I think we tried. I think we tried hard. I think our second half was a really decent effort by the Wolves players. And our little star boy, Matheus Mane, was probably the poster boy of the game, wasn't he, really? I thought he was fantastic. He collected the ball from deep. He was running at some of the best defenders in the league. Again, not just at the Arsenal game, just picks up the ball, darts forward, runs. I think Mane was the one who really, grabbed the ball by the horn and was taking us forward and trying to really get some breaks going and trying to link up well with Tolu. I think he's done that over 2 games now, to be honest. I'm really impressed with how Matheus Mane has really stepped up in times where we've needed someone to step up, actually.
We were the biggest fans in England as well, and you got an 18-year-old that can just do that. I was calling for him to play from the beginning, and now he's actually, we just needed someone who could actually run with the ball.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was really good. Yeah, so the second, the goal for Wolves came from a corner, didn't it? It was a great. I don't know what's that. Do you know what? Was it Andre who had the corner in?
I think it was, yes.
His corners have been atrocious for ages there, and he put in a really, really good ball. Tolu, superb header, and in all fairness, it's a great save. And Santi Bueno is someone who hasn't played many games of football under Rob Edwards, and kind of another one who has took his chance a little bit. And it's just there, right place, right time, wasn't it, to tap the ball home and really set up an opportunity where Wolves could have potentially got something out of the game at Anfield. So yeah, there were positives to the game. No Christmas miracle, unfortunately. But then a New Year's miracle, shall we say. Wolves are on 3 points. Come on, the triangle's complete.
Yeah, I think it's the first time this year where I was gutted when the final whistle went, because I thought another 5-10 minutes we're gonna win this. They just couldn't handle the game, could they? Man United, and a lot of their players were getting quite frustrated, weren't they?
We wasn't passive at all. I think we should probably run through the changes before
Yeah.
before we go through the half. Because obviously Andre picked up a second yellow in the his fifth yellow of the season in the Liverpool game, so he was suspended for the game. And we'd had a couple of knocks and niggles and injuries, so Mosquera came back after his suspension, but Santi Bueno was he injured?
Yeah. Doherty played in the back five, didn't he?
Well, yeah, Santi Bueno was the one who picked up an injury. When the lineup was out, right, we was all texting each other and we ain't got a clue what was going on, had we?
I think it worked though. I think it helped us out actually.
I think so as well.
The special one, what they did.
Do you know what, right? It was so funny because the one thing that I've always credited Wolves for doing is when they put the graphics up for the lineups, they're always in player order. And I love that because you can at least see what's going on. But even the Wolves Twitter page hadn't got a clue what was going on because the graphics just, you got Tatua followed by Eric Adare, followed by Mane, followed by Jose Sarr, probably. It was so funny. But yeah, it was a four at the back. That was out of transition, obviously. You know, we had Tatua drop back and make it into a back five. Matt Doherty brought in that kind of Connor Cody-esque.
I thought he was unbelievable. I thought he had a really good game, to be fair. I think you got to give credit to Mane and John Arias because they settled in with Joe Gomez in the middle three, didn't they? And they really worked hard. Them two tackles that Mane did on Casemiro and then tracking back with Cunha, that's just what we want to see. If we'd have lost that game, but we see the players playing like that, we'd absolutely sing the names off, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Wolves game was a performance. You take the results. We'll take the 1-1 at Old Trafford, and I think Manchester United are secretly hoping that we go down because we always seem to nick something at Old Trafford. The theatre of dreams and the worst team in Premier League history have managed to go and pick up a point at the theatre of. I mean, like I say, team lineup wise, John Arias formed a midfield three with Arias, Gomez, and Mane. You got Tolu up top with Hwang. You got Tatua sort of playing as a makeshift right winger, but kind of dropped back at every occasion as soon as Manchester United got the ball. And I think it worked. I think the transition between the 4 and the 3 really worked because defensively I thought we looked quite solid.
Yeah.
And I think you have to give props to both. We've already mentioned Matt Doherty. I think he was superb on the night, but Mosquera as well. Apart from the little head Alice gave absolutely everyone kittens, I thought he was superb. And do you know what? I love Mosquera's enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. I agree.
I love Mosquera's enthusiasm. He's another player who's come from foreign league and just wants to do well, regardless of whether or not he has done well over the season. He's up for debate, but the enthusiasm is always there. Like he genuinely wants to do well, and he's showing who cares. Mm-hmm. He does care. He does care. So I think we'll sort of dissect the game a little bit.
For me, I was just a bit gutted that it seemed like we had to wait till we was 1-0 down for us to actually take the shackles off and have a go.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that first goal in. It was, I mean, when you whacked up on Twitter, I was holy, man. It was so funny at work.
I lost my head, mate. Lost my head.
Lost your head. And to be honest, I can't really blame him. Look, Hwang Hee-chan is trying to dribble away in such a precarious position when he's kind of running into an area where no one's going to be able to support him anyway. He loses the ball, which has happened so many times this year. And as soon as he's
created more chances against us than he has creating for the team, hasn't he?
You're probably right, to be honest, mate. He seems to be every single week now, doesn't he? And I can't discredit his attitude because he always seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and you could tell he tries, but things just never seem to be working out for him, unfortunately, in a Wolves shirt. And he lost the ball in such a precarious position, and it left. Like Manchester United had already broke just before that, and as we tackled and put the ball forward, they were still fairly high up the pitch. So to lose the ball that quickly and then have Manchester United, who've already got more players up, to lose the ball there and little ping pong passes around the box with Xerxes, and then I actually felt sorry for Matt Doherty because that little drag back that Xerxes did before hitting it with his left foot, kind of like he left Matt Doherty sliding half and wild, didn't they? The way that he was, it was really, really intellectual the way that the Man United striker took the ball past the defenders. But again, when the look's not with you, and the shot just hit straight. Like he was going to the left, wasn't he? And it struck Krejci on his chest, and then sent Jose the wrong way, unfortunately.
Like you say, we was playing in transitional positions, weren't we? So I think we was like trying to settle back into catching them on the counter, and we was trying to switch, and I don't think they anticipated Chan losing the ball like that. What is he doing there? Push on the back foot, loses the ball. I've never seen him take a player one in that position, so I don't know why he was trying to do it when we was under so much pressure. And again, no, I don't want to keep going negative about Wang, but even when we got the ball in our area where we can cross the ball in, he sets the attack off that the ball ends up at the halfway line. Is that confidence? Is that him needing to be able to put it in the box a bit better? I don't know, but you can't keep playing that negative ball back, which a few of our players then do, when it ends up on the halfway line again, and then we have to try and create what we've just got through in the first place, and it just, it's unfortunate, man. Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about him.
I know. I think a lot of Wolves fans are sick to death of seeing Wang in a Wolves shirt, but I think his effort was at least there for the Manchester United game. I think it's just his actual ability that lets him down sometimes.
Effort should be there, though. Effort should be there because they're in the Premier League, the best league in the world. Effort should be there with every player. But he's got to show more. I don't know how he gets in that 11. I really don't. But then again, you look at the squad, you look at the bench, who else is going to take his place? Yeah.
So, but we managed to get a goal back just on the stroke of half time, which was quite nice to see us actually really taking the game to Manchester United. It was a corner whipped in from the left hand side with Hugo Bueno. I have no idea whether it came off a Wolves or a Manchester United player on the kind of right hand side of the box, but it goes right towards the back stick where Krejci has made such a simple run. And to be honest, if I was a Man United fan, I would be screaming at those Manchester United players, because he kind of sat in that three where they was all going to run towards one position. And then he thought, actually, nobody's watching me. So he's just held off, hasn't he? You've got Mascara and Doherty who've sprinted forward to presumably get one of the flick-ons. But then he's just drifted to the back stick and there's no one there. And the header is superb by Ladislav Krejci. It's so good. And
right in the corner as well, wait. I said he was right in the corner as well.
Yeah, it was superb. Like Lemos has been a really good keeper for United so far this year, and he was fully stretched and couldn't get there. And what a relief it was to see Wolves score a goal in the first half. Regardless of the fact that, regardless of the fact that we were 1-0 down at the time, it was just refreshing to see Wolves really taking the game to a team after going 1-0 down and trying to put pressure on in the first 45 rather than wait until the second.
With a lot of the game as well, with one centre mid on the pitch, really. For Mane and Amiat playing that tactical role, I think the credit goes to them. Can we talk about Tolu as well? I think he's had two great games.
The ball just sticks to him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The ball just sticks to him. He's the ideal target forwards for a man who can't jump as well. I think he's getting there. I think he's finally starting to adapt to English football. He obviously lacks that turn of pace for me a little bit. I would prefer to have him next to a more dynamic striker, someone who can do the runnings in behind. And Tolu's attacking positioning is really, really good. And the thing that I like about him, look, he just tries to put it onto players. Every corner, I think it was Aiden Heaven who was marking him. It's just the basics. Like, you got a Manchester United player who trying to bring him in and draw him in. And as soon as he gets touched tight and Tolu knows the ball's coming away, as soon as he does, his arm's out and he's pushing him. And he's not wanting to just get into a fight. He's willing to fight to get into specific areas in the box and make himself enough space to know that he's going to be able to bring a threat to the game. And I do like that about him.
I like that, when Mane is getting on the ball and he's cutting in and he's shooting from long range, where he probably could have played, Tolu in a little bit. I like that he doesn't get on his back.
Yeah.
When he gets to him, he's putting his arm around him, or he's doing some type of team building, which is really good because a young lad like that playing, the last thing he needs is a big centre forward having a go at him every time. And it was quite nice to see that type of leadership, because when you're at the bottom of the league, that's the type of players that you need in the squad to keep that togetherness.
It's unselfish running, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, with him, we'll go on to Mane in a whole of the section in a minute, because he's been absolutely superb. But with Mane, when he's bringing the ball forwards, you don't know whether he's looking for that pass. You don't know whether he's going to try and take a shot for goal. He's young, he's inexperienced, and he's itching and scratching to try and really put a dent and make a stamp on the game. So it's these little unselfish runs by Tolu, and not even just Tolu, but other players around, who allow this freedom with Matheus Mane. And he's, like I said, I feel like a broken record. It's just refreshing, even in just one game, to see that. So yeah, Tolu, I think, deserves massive props. Tolu, Mosquera, Doherty, and obviously let's move on to the magic man himself. He's in your head, in your head, Mane. Hey, what a bloke. What a bloke, Matheus Mane, man. Go on, Liam.
Yeah, like I said, when the season started and you knew that we just lacked that person who could turn the ball and put on the back for the other team, didn't you? I mean, we talked about him a few times watching for the academy, and I don't know how he didn't create a chance for himself. Maybe there was too worried about him, having the pressure on him, but he's came in, and how can he get taken out in the team? If you look, firstly, when he has the ball, like you say, you don't know what he's going to do. So the defenders don't really know him. They don't know what he's going to do. He's shooting from distance, he's trying to take on his man. And then when you talk about it, running in behind, he can run in behind, he can go out wide. And what I like about him is, like I said against Man United, them two tackles he did, one on Casemiro and one on Cunny, playing at Old Trafford against Man United in the bottom of the league. And you haven't played much football. And there he is making those, big tackles, and I was just like, that just sets his work rate. And for him as an 18-year-old in the Premier League to tactically play in the midfield three, and he weren't just doing it looking like he was forced to, he was doing it like he was enjoying to be there. It's just absolute credit, and I'm glad the fans gave him that ovation because he fully deserved it. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, mate. You know what? Our mate, he's going to be heavily what he is. We say this again because he was taking the mick out of me for saying it during the Liverpool game. I just love how brave he is. I love for a young player to have so much tenacity, and for a young player to be so brave. Like, as soon as he picks up the ball, his first thought is, I'm bringing it forward. And if I lose the ball, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about making mistakes. I absolutely love it. He's trying something different. He's trying something that is completely out of our systematic style of playing. And he loses the ball. And Cunha, as we've all experienced over the years, is one of the best dribblers in the Premier League, and he's bombing forward with the ball. And Matheus Mane's hunger to get back and make a challenge, whether it's going to be a foul, he doesn't care. He runs back, he gets in front of Cunha, he snatches the ball, he celebrates afterwards. Joe Gomez does exactly the same when he's done it. Oh my God, like, it was just nice. It was nice to see that passion. And for a young player to be able to have the ability to not get downhearted when he makes a mistake, but actually, go out and try to change the way that we're playing. All credit goes to Matheus Mane. And long may it continue, we hope. We hope and pray.
Yeah.
Nathan Tree, if you do watch any podcasts like your predecessor, we'll try and be nice.
He's going to be snapped right up if he keeps the way he's going.
Yeah, it could be a horrible end of the season if the one bright spark out of it doesn't stay with us. And I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. But I think there's the more that we play him, and I can understand why Rob Edwards tried to protect him, really. But I think the more we play him, there's going to be so much interest. There's so much genuine raw talent in this kid, and if he can either start making better decisions when it comes to the final third with experience, or whether it's having that final touch scoring goals, getting numbers. I think when it starts to click, this kid's got it, man. This kid's really, really good. So special shout out to Matheus Mane. I think he was superb. Yes, 1-1, mate. Game finished. Said earlier. I think if we was playing for another 10 minutes, I think we'd have won that game. It's so gutting because I really thought we could have broke the duck. We just played so well. And it's just hard to sit here, even though we're only on 3 points, and even though we only got a draw, it's hard to sit here and be miserable like we have in recent weeks.
Do you think that we could just pass that ball in a bit earlier? Both sides, like Hugo takes about 5 to 10 step overs every time, doesn't he? And I don't think he needs to do it every time. Does that stop Tolu making his run where he wants to go when he don't know when the ball's coming into the box?
Yeah, I think it's something we've definitely got to improve on. I think the quality of the cross into the box has to be better. But I absolutely agree with you. We need to be trying to get this ball in better positions at an earlier time, because it's got to be so hard for Tolu and anybody who's coming in at the back post to try and make specific runs late into the box, because I like Hugo Bueno. I think he's done quite well this season. Yeah, the 7 or 8 step overs. I don't mind it every now and again, but it seems to be before every single cross. You know, I appreciate he gets down the line and tries to take his man on, but we just need to be a bit more clinical with the way that we're crossing the ball, get it in earlier. Even if it's further back, I think he's got a really good cross in him. I think he generates quite a bit of power with his crosses. And there was that chance with Tolu when the ball came in and the header, he generates so much power. Like there is a formula to success with the goals that we could score while getting the balls from out wide into the box, especially with Tolu, who absolutely should have put that one away, by the way. But yeah, I agree with you.
The one thing I'd give Hugo is he's quite brave on getting it on his right foot, isn't he? So he can go either way, which is really good. We seem to cross the ball a lot from like a deep inside position, don't we? You never normally see teams do that. I don't know where that's come from, but most of our crosses come there, and that's got to be a hard ball to put in and to score from.
Yeah, it is. We've done it all season, haven't we? I think when Rob Edwards kind of gets the players ticking specifically in the way that he wants to play, that's something that could change, potentially. I think it is worth mentioning as well, because we obviously didn't do a podcast after the Liverpool game. There was a lot of shouts from Rob Edwards' head on social media after that game. What's your take on it, Lou?
I can see where it's coming from. If you've lost 7 games in a row, there's not been much difference from the start of play that we're probably wanting to see. But what is he meant to do with the 7 games that he's had? He's got the same team. Look at that bench that we had against Man United. We technically had 1 centre mid on the pitch. Not on the pitch, in the position at times against Man United. I don't know what he's meant to do. I think January, he's got to have January to try and help him. I think he'll be being too early to say he's going to be at the door. But if that is Matt Jackson looking at other potential candidates, why have we just done an interview to say that he might have 3 years? You get a manager, you know that we're going to lose more matches and maybe that's what the bottom of the league. Why have you said that he's got 3 years and then we're looking at a new manager? That just shows you that we haven't got a Scooby-Doo on what the next move is going to be. Surely they should be planning the next move already, just in case it does happen. If he does well and he gets gone, they should have replacements already in both ways, shouldn't they? So, what about you?
It's still a bit premature for me, I think. I can understand people's frustrations, and especially after I think it was the Brentford game, the last one at home, wasn't it? Where we walked out, we were fuming. He was so bad. And that was the first game really for me where I thought that we didn't really have an identity to the way that we were playing. It's so hard. It's such a hard thing to say. I definitely think it's premature because, like you've already said, it needs to be given some leeway until January, regardless of what people think. They're 99.999% down anyway. And we need to be able to see what kind of players he wants to bring in. So you kind of have to give him until the end of the season, or you have to give him at least till February, because we want to be able to see how he can develop his game with the sort of players that he wants to bring in anyway. You might have players who can, Marshall Moretz is your perfect example. He's not a player who suits the Rob Edwards way. So we have to wait. We have to wait till January to see.
Did you see the names that was linked? Derek McInnes, Gary O'Neill, and that Barry Murphy for Cardiff.
Look, if there's ever a reason to say that it's too premature and those three managers are linked, it's way too premature.
Yeah.
It's way too premature. Let's give it till at least Feb. And to be honest, do you know what? We kind of need. I'm glad the West Ham game's coming up because we kind of need to play some, without saying disrespectful, some lesser teams, some worse opposition, because obviously we've seen the likes of the way that we played against Villa, Arsenal, Liverpool, United. You're not disappointed in those performances, and I get it. It's obviously to do with the whole away form and home form as well, which doesn't help. But I think West Ham game on Saturday could be the game where we could kind of see what's going to become of Rob Edwards' Wolves' tenure.
Yeah,
I think
he'll be best player on the pitch, Rowney. I think it's all down to him. If we can stop him, we've got a chance. If we give him chances like we do to every team, he's just going to put them away.
It's the result, because we haven't won a game all year, so we can't be walking into it just expecting a win because we've done well at United. We've got to look at the way that we're setting up and looking at the way that we're playing, and obviously there's going to be different players and injuries and suspensions and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how we line up, and we'll see how the game goes. But we'll do a little match preview on that game later, just in case people can't tell. Nice little segue for you. If you look at Liam's face, and you can see that the hairs are getting longer, he's decided that he's not going to shave his beard or cut his beard until Wolves win a Premier League game.
At home.
At home as well.
I'm going to see if I can see all they can beat me.
To be fair, I think you could be waiting until 2020.
No, man, we're going to beat West Ham on Saturday. We're going to beat them.
I hope so. Mate. I really do. So let's move on to a little bit of early-ish transfer news for everybody. It's mainly outgoings at the minute, to be fair. Emmanuel Agbadou has had a loan offer with an option to buy rejected by Wolves from Besiktas. So it doesn't look like Agbadou might be one who's leaving this month. Wolves would only sanction a straight sale if Agbadou were to leave this month. So I don't blame the club for that approach, to be honest. No, we're going to need to spend money if we are going to lose a key centre-back for us.
Option to buy? What an absolutely ridiculous offer that is.
I mean, it is. It is really, isn't it? We'd have to. I know there's money in Turkey, so they don't need to throw silly offers like that in. Some incoming news was reported by Fabrizio Romano. Wolves are reportedly interested in Nico Sigo from Hajduk Split in the Croatian league, I believe that is. He's predominantly a centre defensive midfielder. He can play as a 6 or an 8. What has also played a few games at right back as well this year. So I think that would probably be the reason why Wolves would be looking at a player like that, because we do need that covering centre mid, but we also need the cover at right back as well. And it could be one of those transfers where it kind of makes sense. I think he would welcome the move to come to England. It will get him 6 months with not much pressure before we get to the Championship, and then we can truly see which position is going to fit him best. And obviously, if we do lose either of or both Andre or Gomez this month, then at least we have got some sort of centre midfield depth option. West Ham seem to have called their interest in Jurgen Strand-Larsen. Wolves have put a £40 million offer on his head for the sale, but in more recent hours, it looks like Nottingham Forest have ramped up their interest in Jurgen Strand-Larsen. So that would be interesting to see if they make a move, because Marinakis has got a lot of money, and Wolves like to try and get the best deal. It's the only club where we try and get a bit of money out of them, don't we? It was also said that, you'll like this one, Liam, I found this quite funny. West Ham were willing to try and make a part exchange deal. I presume it would be part X plus money, with our former captain, Max Kilman, coming back the other way to secure the signing of Jurgen Strand-Larsen. What do you think about that one, mate?
I don't know to think of things anymore. I really don't. I mean, he's a bit quality defender in the Championship, wouldn't he? But would he want to drop down to the Championship is a different question. If you do think that him staying up, selling Larson to West Ham probably wouldn't be the best idea because I think he can score goals on another team. He scored goals once last year. It just isn't working this year, is it? What about you? What do you think?
I wouldn't like to sell him to either of those two teams, to be honest. Not that I think we've got a chance of staying up at the minute, but I just think, regardless of the situation of Wolves at the minute, I think there's a player there. I think if he's given the service, I think he'll score goals. And I do not want to see a player from us go to another team and score goals for Nottingham Forest. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want him to get to Forest. I don't want him to get to Villa. The two teams, I don't want him to go
I heard
and
Crystal
score
Palace
goals.
wanting as that. Crystal Palace in talks with him. Not in talks, but thinking about him.
Yeah, I think he's on the list. I think everything with that one kind of relates to if Mateta leaves. I think he's been touted with another £50 million move to United. I think they're trying to get another striker in because, you know, if £80 million on a flop from Slovenia isn't enough, or God knows however much they spent on Xerxes, then they may as well go and get another striker in who can score goals. But at least this one would make sense. He has got Premier League experience. Bit more transfer news. Paris FC and Nantes and Nice look to be holding an interest in Marshall Monetsi. So that could be another player at the door for Wolves. As I said earlier, I don't think he's someone that fits Rob Bedridge's style of football, to be honest. So I think that one is more of one that I could see happening if I'm being...
Never Dick Elston at Paris FC.
I'm not sure. I know he was towards the start of...
Something.
And finally, a few conflicting reports. Quite a reputable journalist in Italy, Matteo Moretto, said that negotiations between Fer Lopez and Celta Vigo were advanced. Details were still being worked on, including the duration of the loan. The loan could be sanctioned until the end of this season or the end of next season. But contrast to that, Talking Wolves and Dave Azzopardi have said that Wolves don't want to loan Fer Lopez out this month. The situation may change later in January, but he's expected to stick around as of reports by now. Sorry, the last one is João Gomes. João Gomes is being discussed again. It's an option for Manchester United. Obviously, they need a centre midfielder, and they would have probably been quite happy. Well, not happy on the day, but they would have been quite happy to see how João Gomes was performing, still in a relegation threatened Wolves team. And I thought, thinking that's another one where
Yeah, I think it's one of them, mate, where if it's players who look like they don't want to be in or they're looking at moving on, maybe it's your time to do it. I don't think Joe Gomez would be one of those type of players, to be honest with you, because he looks like he does actually show a bit of commitment and he actually cares. So hopefully he can stay at least till the end of the season. It's an odd one, but something's got to happen because we need players. We need something in attack and wingers and some more creation with Matheus Mane.
Yeah, I agree.
Not too many incoming links, is there?
Not at the minute. And you would have hoped that Wolves would have had some replacements lined quite quickly. I think obviously it's one of those where we won't be able to register any foreign players now, or non-homegrown players, should I say, until one is sold. So I think he's trying to get players. It's not what Wolves fans will want to hear, but it's trying to get players off the books first, and that's not to generate a revenue, but more because of the registration rules. So unless we see movement of a homegrown player, then I don't really think we'll see much until we kind of don't know what's happening, because we can't afford to spend money on certain players at the minute, not knowing what players are going to be sticking around. So, for example, Marshall Monetsi, who probably doesn't have a future at Wolves if Rob Edwards stays. You want him off the books, but at the same time, you want him off the books, but teams need to come in with these offers first, and it has to be the right price for you. It was only was it a year ago? I think he come. Yeah, it would have been a year ago. He's only been at the club a year, and we signed him for £15 million. And you're not just going to let him, despite what people think about him, you're not going to let him walk on a free transfer, are you? Just to get him off the books. So this has to be some sort of negotiations take place with players and clubs and sales and what kind of money we're going to be getting for people, because we don't want to end up in a financial fair play situation if we start selling players too cheap and then try and smash loads of money through next year and try and make our way back to the Premier League. There has to be a certain balance.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. I totally agree. But I'd love to, because we've got Everton, haven't we, in next midweek?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 games where really you should have picked up points against Man United or Liverpool, like a win or something like that. You'd want players coming in ready to show that we're willing to move on to that next stage of the season. Again, we're slow to move, aren't we?
I think it was nice to see, I don't know whether you've watched it yet, Wolves did the first team training videos prior to the Manchester United game. And Rodrigo Gomez was back on the grass and in training. So, I mean, obviously, I think he would have been on a bit more lighter training. But it would be interesting to see whether he can work his way back into the lineup relatively soon.
Mate, he'd walk into that lineup, surely.
You would hope so. You would hope so, but he obviously has to impress the coaches and the manager just as much as anybody else, because they won't have seen much of Rodrigo Gomez because he was injured as soon as Rob came in. So let's see. Let's see. It's not a positive time for the club at all by any stretch of the imagination, but it's January. Anything could happen in January. It'll be nice to see some fresh faces come through the door. Hopefully players who want to perform and want to show why they can get us out of the mess that we're in now next year and bring us back into the Premier League. Maybe it's a happy new year and I've had a few too many beers over the last few days, and
yeah,
I'm just thinking that Wolves could potentially try and do something. I think one thing that we do need to mention as well, Liam, before we move on, because we haven't had a chance to speak about it yet, was Nathan Shee's message to Wolves fans at Christmas. He did a little 3-minute sit-down interview, which I think you have to commend him for, because at the end of the day, we want communication and we want the owners to kind of let us know what's going to be happening with the club. And as much as we kind of didn't get too much detail, the key positive of that kind of speech for me was the fact that he said actions speak louder than words. And that's now on record. That's been out there in the public eye. So actions do speak louder than words for me. Let's see how this transfer window goes, and let's see if we can see sort of strategic planning for future.
We've heard it all before, mate, so he's got to show it.
Yeah. What did you think about the video, lad?
It's always scripted, isn't it? They know what they're going to say, and it was probably checked with high-uppers to see what he's actually going to say. Yeah, like if he's saying that about what you mentioned, then you've got to do it. And January is the first step for me to show that you can improve what we've had before. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what January holds. The end of January, we'll have more of a clear picture, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we will. I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head. It was obviously very scripted, to the point where you could see that he was obviously reading off a teleprompter. But at the same time, the words that were being said kind of, even though it was quite clearly scripted, it kind of felt a bit more genuine. I think sometimes you listen to like when Jeff Shee spoke, you kind of just didn't care because you could literally see him reading off a teleprompter and it was just, I've got to say this to make us look good, and off we go. Whereas it kind of felt like there was a little bit of emotion to the voice of Nathan Shee. So not under any illusion that he's probably another puppet for Fosun, but we can only give a proper verdict on that in more time. And obviously he's just an interim at the minute as well, so we don't even know whether he's going to be in the position. So Wolves play West Ham. It's the return of Nuno Espirito Santo on Saturday. 3 o'clock kickoff, Liam, I hope. Yeah, sweet. That'll be a nice, interesting game for us, won't it?
Massive 6-pointer, isn't it? Mainly for them more so, but the pressure's on them to win. Nuno's got to win that game.
Yeah. I think he'll be gone. If somehow Wolves manage to win on Saturday, I think Nuno will be gone. And then I think there'll also be the Wolves fans out there who then go, wow, he's available. He's there. Do we go for him?
It's just going to end in tears. Don't even go there.
To be honest, if we were to get Nuno Santo back, he cannot be in this season. He cannot be in this season because at the end of the day, we're gone, and you don't want him to have to come into a situation where he looks at our team and goes, I don't really have any love for this team either. He would have to be like heavily backed, and there's no point bringing him in January when we know the outcome. So yes, Wolves obviously welcome West Ham to Molineux, and we probably think that with a slight change, we obviously want to. We think that Andre will probably come back in after his suspension has finished. We think Arias might play in the middle. I think he did really well against United, and I agree with some stuff that I saw online as well with regards to saying that maybe he's not good enough to be one of those wingers in a Premier League team, because he just doesn't have that turn of pace. But he's very good at drawing players to him and getting fouls and moving the ball for quick transitions. And maybe a slight switch up in his position, we might be able to see something better out of Arias. So this will be the lineup. We've gone with a 5-2. Same goalkeeper, same back three. Matt Doherty for me and Liam stays in. We had a little back and forth on whether to move Krejci into midfield and bring Santi Bueno in, but we've kind of stuck with.
But you need some solidarity and consistency at the back, don't you?
I think they all played very well against Manchester United, so I think you have to kind of keep the back three the way that it was. Kept Hugo Bueno and Jackson Tachera. I think I'd swap anyone for Jackson Tachera, but at the minute we don't have the options to be able to do so. So Tachera, Bueno.
I think Breno keeps his spot. We mentioned about him. He does offer something, and why doesn't he? What need to do his decision making a bit quicker to help Tolu make his run. But I think I'd like to see Hugo start against West Ham.
I think so. I think he could definitely get it the fullbacks for West Ham. Definitely. Yes, so Arias is in a midfield three with the usual pairing of João Gomez and Andre. That would be an interesting dynamic to see how the three of them would play together, to be honest. Obviously, got Andre. Andre would probably sit a little bit deeper, but you could make triangles there with the three of them, and João Gomez can absolutely push on and go forward and bring Arias into the game. And then we've pushed the star boy up a little bit further, haven't we? Matheus Mane sits as a false 9/number 10 just in behind Tolu. I don't think Sean Larson came on and made a good account for himself. I praise as well. It goes to the fans who was at United, by the way. Special shout out to them because they were excellent all game. They were so vocal, and it was nice to. Yeah, really good crowd. It was nice to see that they give Strand Larson.
Yeah, I agree.
A bit of appraisal. I think I think he's deserved his critics at times, especially at home, and the way that he's conducted himself in games. But it was nice for him to probably hear that from the fans and know that he does still have some support at the club regardless. And I think it's just a hard time for everyone. But yeah, Tolu definitely starts.
Yes,
if Max Kilman plays, Tolu scores, because he has been so bad for West Ham. So bad. They all want him gone. And I think we all saw the Max Kilman of when he was at Wolves, and anyone who was physical and just had the back to goal and getting right into Kilman, he couldn't deal with him. He couldn't deal with him. He's not fast enough. I'd love to, like I say, I mentioned it earlier about getting a striker in who's just got that bit of dynamism and that turn of pace. I'd like to see maybe Mane get that chance of playing a bit further forward. And they played some great football between the two of them in the last two games. I think their link-up play is really, really good. And who knows, maybe you could get something out of those two. Maybe Mane could get his first Premier League goal against the South Bank at the Molineux against West Ham. And then we'll go and win every other game and stay out for the rest.
It's a massive game, isn't it? And I think Nuno's under right pressure if he doesn't get the win. I think West Ham are under more pressure than Wolves on Saturday. I think that they would need 3 points regardless of the game, aren't they?
Pressure cooker is going to be the thing that could really turn this tide for Wolves in this game to be able to maybe get the 3 points. Because West Ham fans are going to be going mad. We've already beaten once in the Cup. They know that we've got players who can score goals if given the right opportunities. That pressure cooker where Nuno has got to bring players on to make sure he wins that game. As long as we don't concede early, this could be a game where Rob's tactics of making sure that we go into the first half 0-0 could really boil that West Ham team. Yeah. Nuno would be furious to walk in at 0-0 at half time, and I think that might be the way to go forward. Happy with the team lineup, Liam? 3-5-2?
Yeah, I just hope we can concentrate for a large majority of the game, and we don't just give away that one stupid chance where we haven't been really good at tracking our runners in the box. Thomas Tuchel, he scored against us in the cup, didn't he? Did he score against us in the cup?
He did on the back post.
He's going to be doing them numbers again, isn't he? We've got to make sure that we're picking up, get out to the cross and block it, and when we have the ball, keep the hands on side by being positive.
Yeah. Win your battles, win your duels, press hard, play like you mean it for the club, and the fans will get right behind the players on Saturday. Score prediction time, Liam. What are you thinking, mate?
I do it every time. As a Wolves fan, I think we'll win 2-1. If I was looking at it from the outside as a football fan, I think Jared Bowen wins the game and it's 2-0 West Ham, but I'm hoping I might with the 2-1 Wolves. What about you?
1-0 Wolves. 1-0 Wolves.
Gotta be. Rob Edwards fist bump into the safe bank?
I don't think he can be fist bumping, mate. I don't think he can. I don't think we're in that position where anyone could be fist bumping.
Imagine.
As a quick side note for the West Ham game as well, it doesn't look like there'll be any protests for the game. I think it's all very much that we can see that there needs to be some confidence given to these players. So I don't think anybody on Thursday night, there is nothing planned. Happy New Year, Liam.
Happy New Year to you as well, mate.
Happy New Year to all the Wolves fans. We've predicted a win for Wolves, so let's see how this goes. New Year, new Wolves. Let's get it going. Let's get a rowdy Molyneux atmosphere on Saturday. Let's get stuck in. Let's back the boys, back Rob. Let's go and make it hard for West Ham. If they're walking out of Molyneux with a point or three, they better have gone to hell and back to go and get them points. And let's make it a fortress again, regardless of the situation. Let's go and have fun with it. Let's go and sing some old songs. Let's have a laugh. We're back, baby. We're still back. Let's get ready for the transfer window. Keep your eye on the channel for the next podcast next Monday. We're hoping that Nathan's definitely going to be on with us. We're hoping to maybe get another one in. And we're going to have a transfer special for everyone. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you like, subscribe and share to the YouTube channel. Thank you again to everyone for the support of the channel over the last few months. It really means a lot. And we look forward to bringing you more, hopefully happier content in the future. Thank you all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you later.